Good morning, peace and blessings. Happy full moon. We had a full moon this morning at 4:13 a.m. I believe Pacific Standard Time in Sagittarius. It was a full lunar eclipse, which means that we are in a resetting energy. Eclipses happen twice a year, and what they do is they reboot our consciousness. And they happen, so this one is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is about our faith. So it's like we're getting a reboot in our faith. And today is a Mercury day, and Mercury is currently at the 24th degree of Gemini, and it is preparing for its retrograde, which will start on the 29th. I will have a link available for the class by the 29th. I will also have the link available for the Saturn retrograde class tonight. And Mercury in the retrograde shadow, in an eclipse, which is about a reboot, in the opposite sign of Sagittarius, which is about our faith, our ability to expand, our blessings. It's about goodness, and it's Jupiter and Sagittarius is all of these sort of great things. And it's also about, being able to, or being willing to do foreign things that are unfamiliar, things that you don't know. It's about newness, right? Being in foreign places, being with people or experience or beliefs that are foreign, so that you can be expanded for the purpose of expansion. I feel like that's something we could really use in this country, because so many of our ways of being are centered around protecting ourselves and not allowing ourselves to expand or grow or become more. It's literally this idea that something different is bad, but the reality is that the universe believes that something different is exactly what we need. So Gemini, Mercury is the planet that governs our mind, our thoughts, our how we create this reality. And what we tell ourselves about this reality is what we will experience, right? And it's not that, there can be this idea that we should be afraid of our thoughts or any of that. That's not what this is about. When you have a true understanding of what this is, you don't have to be afraid of anything. You don't have to be afraid of any thoughts. You don't have to be afraid of anything you create, because the reality is that God, Goddess, is in everything. In everything. There is nothing that is here that God, Goddess is not an aspect of. We cannot separate ourselves from the power of God, the activity of the Goddess. We cannot be void of it. It's not possible, right? But we can not recognize it. We can be shut down to it. We can be unavailable to truth. And that's another thing that Sagittarius is. Sagittarius is about truth, like the real truth. So what truth are you able to access now, and what are you telling yourself? Because whatever we tell ourselves, that is what our truth is, right? So I'll use an example for me. For my entire life, like I've shared with you guys before, my father gave me his story of this country. That this country is racist, that this country is out to get black people, that this country is not safe for black people, that we cannot have freedom here, that we cannot have peace here. And so that was my father's truth. He gave it to me. I accepted it, and then because that's what I believed, that's what I thought, that thought implanted itself into my body, which is like the soil, and then I began to create experiences aligned with that belief. It's so important for us to see ourselves, the tree, the soil, and the tree, and then the fruit that the tree bears, right? So the soil is nutritious enough in your consciousness to grow a tree. And then whatever you're thinking about is the fruit that tree will bear, right? So when an orange tree grows an orange, we don't look at that orange and say, oh my God, this orange is wrong. Why is this orange so orange? Why does it taste this way? We know that the orange came from the orange tree, and we understand the creative process of it. That is also true for ourselves. What we think, the seeds that we plant into our mind, into our consciousness, plants into our subconscious understanding in our body and our cells and our and things that are seen and unseen, and then it begins to bear the fruit. So my life began to bear the fruit of what my father told me. Now let me say this, a lot of people believe that truth. So a lot of us are bearing that fruit. But the more that we can recognize that this reality is responding to us, especially black people, especially melanated beings, because the melanin carbon is the carbon is what this universe is made up of, and so carbon reproduces itself. So today with Mercury and Gemini, our thoughts at the 24th degree, we want to start looking at how we can regenerate our thoughts, how we can tell a new story. And for me, the way that I access a new story is by inviting myself to come to the absolute truth. And for me, the absolute truth is that God is all there is. And if that is the truth, then that means that everything here is love, that everything here is in service to my divinity, and everything here is a projection of the power of God that is within me. And the more, when I do that, I can relax. When I do that, I don't have to defend myself. When I'm able to understand the truth of the divine, that is me, that is everything, that is in all places with all things, and then I know that nothing here can attack me. Nothing here is my enemy, because God is not my enemy. The goddess is not my enemy. It is my creator. And because I am made in the image and likeness of God, goddess, my thoughts create. So it is the love. God extends itself through love, right? And gives itself to all of its creation through love. And then we have a choice to do with it how we will. We can create out of fear, we can create out of scarcity, we can create out of limitations, or we can create out of abundance and joy and love and peace and harmony. But the work is the practice of aligning yourself moment by moment, day by day, new cycle by new cycle, to your absolute truth, whatever that is for you, right? You've got to figure out what that is for you. It took me years, and it shouldn't take everybody years, right? I'm certainly not saying it took me years with the belief that it needs to take other people years, because that is not the case. My experience has been my experience. And I honor that. I'm looking. And I honor my experience. I honor the uniqueness, because here's what I know, that time is not real. I've lived many lifetimes. And the thing that I have discovered, and I don't know if any of you guys agree with me, but let me know if you do. The things in my life that have been so painful, like having parents who were addicted, or growing up in poverty, or, this most recent experience I had of a long-time friendship ending. When I can tell myself, everything serves me. God created everything to serve me. This is not here to harm me. This is here to serve me. That is alchemy. That is alchemy. That is how we change metal to gold. That is how we change sorrow to joy. That is how we change separation to unification. That is how we change, fear into peace and love, by recognizing that we have the ability to transform anything by simply thinking about it differently. This is the power that we are endowed with. When we think about it differently, we speak about it differently, we feel differently about it, and then we materialize a new reality. This is the truth of our power, of our gifts, of our ability. But the question is, are you practicing? Are you doing what you need to do on a daily basis? Moment by moment, to bring yourself into alignment with truth, to bring yourself into alignment with the power that is within you. The moon, we just had a full moon. We have opened up the eclipse season. So this eclipse season is going to be very vital, because the eclipse season is from now until the next eclipse, which is in Gemini. In Gemini. So look and see where this is happening in your chart. For me, it's happening in my 3rd and 9th house. So I'm literally working on 3rd house perception, 9th house the truth that I live out, and it'll show up. So I'm having experiences where I'm having to ask myself, what is it that I'm telling myself about this? Like I was sharing with you guys, I've been having something going on with my ex-husband, and I'm asking myself, what story am I telling myself about this experience? What story am I telling myself about this person? Whatever this, he's out to get me, he's not listening, he's this, he's that, he doesn't, then that's what I will experience. Then that's what I'll experience. So rather than saying that, I'm going to remind myself that I am the feminine, I am the divine feminine. My mind creates everything. So I created this experience for my growth and evolution. My soul did. My soul, not my ego, created this experience for my growth and evolution. And my ex-husband is here as my teacher, as a savior, to help me wake up and see my power. And sometimes we get lessons that look like they are really negative to help us wake up to the truth of how powerful we are. I always believe that if the experience is very, very painful, that means that we have a whole lot of power in order to transmute it into something else. The pain is always equal to the possibility. Your power is, you always have what you need to transmute whatever's going on. You always have what you need. So today, the moon, when I checked, was at the 8th degree of Sagittarius. That is the degree of goodness. And the work is to recognize in this full moon energy, with Mercury preparing to go retrograde, that goodness is the only thing that is here, is the only thing that has ever been. And can you look at your life and call everything good? Just call it good. You don't have to believe it, but you can challenge the goddess and ask her, challenge God, depending on where you land in this feminine masculine thing. Ask, show me how this is good. Help me see how this is good. And watch as the goodness reveals itself. It will, it will, it will. So with that, I'm the Moon Mama. I'm about to go. Got my boogie board today. Yay for the boogie board. Got my wetsuit. I'm about to go get in and do some bodyboarding. And I just love you all. Peace and blessings. Share the video. Happy full moon. Happy opening to the eclipse season. My heart and soul is holding the highest and best for you, trusting and knowing that right where you are, the power, the magnificence, the beauty of the divine universe that is all things is within you, that nothing can come nigh your dwelling place that could ever harm you. You have always been held in grace. You have always been held in power. You have everything you need within you, and all you need to do is say yes, and the truth and the majesty of your love, your faith, your joy will be revealed exponentially. Peace and blessings. I'm the Moon Mama. Bye-bye.